Why does Fall Guys have a battle pass? You want to escape? You want a whimsical adventure?
I saw
you want
Hello
to fall
Kitty.
back on gaming as a comfort crutch? Fuck you, grind for cat ears. This is modern gaming. Don't be fooled by those who claim it's never been a better time to be a gamer. Modern gaming is the dick that'll say anything it can to fuck you. Modern gaming is the printer ink that deactivates itself if you don't have enough V-Bucks. Modern gaming is the gun I want to use to kill. The era of the complete,
Real shit.
cozy, satisfying weekend rental is over. Games are bigger than ever, longer than ever, more broken than ever, and worst of all,
Actually
less
true.
fun than ever.
Actually
Don't bother
true.
getting your friends together to play the quirky multiplayer minigames from ATV Off-Road Fury 2. They're fucking done. The guys at the top are done. They figured it out. Video games are done. Recently, my friends and I got
'Cause
together
money,
to play some
money.
old fun games facilitated by the Master Chief Collection, a collection of all the Halo games before Halo 5. Exactly 0 people knew how invites worked, data installs for
Sorry?
specific games worked, or how any of
wasn't
the
a Halo
cursed
kid.
and wretched UIs worked. File shares were broken, clients were crashing, but we all fucking worked through it until we were finally able to experience the bliss that is Duck Hunt and Jenga on Halo 3. But that's what modern gaming is now. A morsel of fun, wrapped in the most cynical pudding of broken code and $500 million budgets to ever exist.
Halo
All right,
Infinite had a
listen,
500
this is
mil
gonna be an
budget?
unorganized
Oh, it's
video,
crazy.
and we're going to jump from topic to topic. There's literally 0 way to organize my disdain and cynicism for this industry that currently stands, so let's just pretend that this is a list video. What's the list video called? Top 18 reasons modern gaming has made my dick stop working. Number 1.
All right.
Halo Infinite and Cyberpunk 2077 and No Man's Sky and Madden NFL and Battlefield and Star Citizen. AAA
Holy
games
shit.
hate you. They hate the notion that they'd have to actually entertain you, so instead they just wish upon a star and promise it'll all come together someday.
Eventually.
Every Madden game that's released is trashed by the
Okay.
pros and littered with bugs. Literally every ambitious video game.
Okay, but to an extent, bro, it's our fault. It's the consumer's fault, not my fault, because I don't buy no Madden games. NBA, Madden, FIFA, they're all the same fucking game, but the little... I love sports games. I love sitting at home and playing sport video game. I love betting and buying all the packs. Like, that will keep these games coming out. If you want these companies to innovate, you need to stop buying their games, but it's hard. It's hard when everyone else is doing it, and one person doesn't make a difference.
Game launches in the states
Exactly.
No Man's Sky did. Quote unquote everything simulators like Star Citizen that promise the world, rob you blind, and fuck your dog. Cyberpunk
$25,000
2077 had the
for
audacity to have a
pre-order.
great art style and amazing soundtrack while also enacting Poland's wish for its very own divine showcase for overhyped technical buffoonery. And Halo Infinite has the otherworldly nerve to make a roadmap announcing the beta for Match XP as a fucking feature.
What?
Needless to say,
Okay, that's
very few
insane.
developers have the ability to rein it in and have the pep talk good enough to stop smoking meth in the fucking break room long enough to turn their games around. Hello Games is the shining example everyone loves to bring up with how they turned No Man's Sky around from a broken, unplayable mass of
They did
shit to
fix it.
something that
They did
people
fix
pretend
it.
is fun to play. A pure sandbox without fluid feel still sounds like a bad time to me, but hey, some journalists changed their ratings, so we all better go on Twitter and tell the masses the consensus has changed.
Oh no, go away, Todd
Why
Howard.
even bother releasing the game in 14 months when we can release it
Now.
in 15 minutes? Todd Howard, I haven't even finished the wall textures in the first level.
14 minutes and 56 seconds.
Hyping any video game up these
Oh,
days
man.
just leaves you with the same feeling
Alright,
you
but
get when a
Horizon
beautiful
Forbidden
girl
West
doesn't appreciate your
looks so
hard-earned
good.
100% save file in Sonic Adventure 2. Disappointment. My Chow can run circles around you, Francine. They're champion fighters and can fly high so they can reach the highest of all the heavens, Francine. Why don't you love me, Francine? Number 2, you keep buying it. These games demonstrate the bare minimum
I
for
said-
what could be considered
I said
software,
that
and the market
as a
has
gamer.
spoken. We'll be angry, but God damn it, take my money. Even though nobody plays these games after launch, they line up to buy it. It makes my fucking jaw drop. The amount of raw, unfiltered, hardened, diamondized, reinforced,
Oh, yeah, Ready or Not, I
ionized
heard that one
copium
was a good
surrounding the
one.
rocky launch of AAA games with $500 million budgets is too much. You all need to snap out of it and do something more worth your time and money.
I'm gonna
like
be
get-
real, bro. I've been playing Starfield, been playing a little bit of it. It's fun, and I didn't buy it for $70 because I got Game Pass on my Series S. It's fun, but bro, like it's like loading screen simulator. For whatever reason, we're next gen and we're still getting loading screens, and also The game's textures are weird as shit. Like the characters' faces, like just NPCs. It's weird. It's
Getting
weird.
a payday loan. Everyone fucking knows you're gonna spend it on FIFA's Ultimate Team anyway, you stupid fucking idiot. Number 3.
Yeah.
Matchmaking is dumb now. In 2007, Bungie dropped the angelic sex toy that was Halo 3. Kept you coming back for more, and the orgasms only got better. You got
And
to
it
play
was, and it was just completely random matchmaking, but now it's like fucking skill based and it's more
matches was
fun.
transparent. The UX was fat and thick. Those pre and post game lobby fights, the
And,
service
yeah,
records,
every game's
and even the limited
unoptimized.
events before the live service battle passes.
Jedi
of modern
Survivor,
day. Rock hard,
Cyberpunk,
flaccid,
Starfield.
titanium, tinfoil, crunchy peanut butter. Store brand expired smooth brain peanut butter. What once was a valuable tool for matching players into fun and engaging matches morphed into the half-working algorithm that ranks the percentage chance you'd fuck someone on OkCupid.com. Skill-based matchmaking, or similar backpack marmalade, takes your stats and matches it with some other basement dweller with stats agonizingly similar so that you can have a neat, precise, bleak, gray infographic 50% win rate. No more social playlists.
Actually
just
true.
Sweat and unemployment. If you're not smoking enough crack to keep up with these little shits that just got picked up from detention, then get ready for the extremely clever shit talking in the DMs.
So yeah, you're gay.
What happened to fun? What happened to progression? Derp, how many challenges do I have to complete today to unlock male fertility? Progression used to mean steady progress, no matter what.
XP coming at you, baby. Nice job in that last match. You did really well and you're improving. Good job.
Battle
Aw.
passes ruined matchmaking. Because you're pressured into the natural need to progress, no longer are you drunkenly making bets with your friends trying to no-scope noobs upside down on the couch with the blood rushing to your head. You've effectively...
Honestly, battle passes, I don't really think ruin matchmaking. I think it's like the behind the scenes code that puts you in the game with skill-based matchmaking that really ruins the game. Battle passes, most of the time, at least for me, I don't care what's in a battle pass. I haven't bought a battle pass since like Fortnite, like season or chapter 2, season 5 or some shit like that. It's been like a year. Does it actually? I think it's my internet. But what's called, like, I haven't bought a battle pass in so long, so I don't care about the progression. I just play the game. But for some people, they'll hop on the game and just fucking max out their battle pass. It's not. I mean,
into the kids'
but to be fair, if that's what someone likes to do, that's what they like to do. That's all. That's all it
Adderall
is.
dealers sweating hard and long enough to get 35 kill streaks to unlock the weed P90. Matchmaking isn't fun, it's not transparent, and you can't even see how many players are online anymore, unless you read too closely at dev blogs talking about fucking playlist health, or frown long enough until you're magically looking at steamcharts.com, and it fills me with an endless soulless void wishing for my own death. And that's if you can even bear how long it takes to install the fucking game you want to play. Speaking of, number 4, it takes the latter half of your adolescent years for Call of Duty to install.
Holy shit! 20 minutes is not even that bad.
What's up, man? Yeah, you're taking down the internet for the whole fucking apartment complex. Could you please get off? I mean, Jesus Christ. Listen, man, I'm just saying it's not that good. Number 5, remasters of remasters of half my fucking shelf is remasters. You know, God fucking forbid the industry come up with a new idea. Reboot this, reboot that, reboot my foot up my own ass and charge me $70. The Last of Us was originally released to critical acclaim, and then re-released 1 year later to critical acclaim.
Yep.
And then
re-released
re-released
to
again
nah.
in 2022 with a shiny new title, and the critics finally shat on it. Just kidding, it released to critical acclaim. Don't get me wrong, I shotgun hot cold cans of member berries just as much as the next aging depressed
But it also
Tumblr
released
fan, but
terribly.
we all roll over like a happy fucking puppy when we learn publishers want to charge us again for the same fucking game. There's never been one single re-release with bad reception, except for all of these titles. And even then, they become the definitive way to play those games. And
So
in
you're
some
forced to
cases,
play it, yeah.
ruining the original artistry of the work itself. It's beyond cynical, but honestly kind of funny that 343 slapped what was basically a fan mod texture pack on one of the most beloved video games of all time, and boxed it up with its own artwork that looks like it was copied from some 240p Xbox 720 console concept design YouTube video, and patted themselves on the back and said, holy shit, we are so fucking awesome that we're gonna focus on every single wrong key area possible and shit all over the goodwill of the most patient fan base
I think
in
this guy likes
existence
Halo.
in perpetuity. Games like the Master Chief Collection and, ironically, the new Last of Us Part 1 PC port should have been NBA Street Volume 2 2-style slam dunks where all they had to do was not screw it up. It took Master Chief Collection almost 5 years to be considered playable, and I'm sure The Last of Us Part 1 will go the route
that
of
just say-
almost 5 years.
Halo Master Chief Collection is like a divorced dad who stopped drinking. What? 9.5, okay.
Playable, and I'm sure The Last of Us Part 1 will go the route of the GTA trilogy, where marketing will claim the game is fixed with a huge patch even though it wasn't, and promptly abandoned since there's no battle pass. Now, I want to make something very clear. I want to play these old games. I want to be able to prove that I own a copy of a game from another generation and be able to play it. No questions asked. That's just a little tight butthole called backwards compatibility. What would simplify this
The
mess?
industry makes it almost impossible to fucking own old games.
Emulate the game instead of porting it! Number 6. Why can't PlayStation and Nintendo realize their back catalog with quality emulation? The Nintendo Entertainment System came out in 1983 and has about 720 games. The Super Nintendo Entertainment System came out in 1990 and has about 1,750 games.
Holy shit.
The Sony PlayStation came out in 1995 and has about 3,060
Damn.
games. The Nintendo 64 came out in 1996 and has about 390
But games take longer
One
to
of them
make.
being Ocarina of Time, which Dylan won't shut the fuck up about and is mid at best. The PlayStation 2 came out in the
Damn.
sizzling year 2000 and has a whopping
Games take longer to
4,379
make.
games. The Nintendo
Industry's
GameCube
fucked.
came out in 2001 and
I know-
has
I
about
see where he's going with this,
652
but yeah.
games. In total, that's roughly 10,900 games. How many of these games can you still play today? 1. I'm pretty sure Crash Bandicoot 2 works pretty good with an emulator. Sony and Nintendo both called me on the phone and said,
Shut the fuck up, you idiot! God, you're stupid! You don't even deserve to see color. You're so fucking stupid. The whole world should be in black and white.
their words, not mine. The fact that Sony and Nintendo have so many IPs wasting away will never make sense to me. For the jaded audience like me, all I want is access to the games during the era you used to be cutting edge and exciting. Compared to today, everything is soft, rounded, safe, and monetized. Back in the day, FMVs were weird and experimental, gameplay never had a single rule as to how it needed to be controlled, and creativity was at an all-time high. Now today's bastions of creativity live on the
But is it just nostalgia? Because, like, the games now might be better than before. I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for this guy, but if you went back and played, like, some of these old games, they might not be as fun as the newer ones, right? So it might just be nostalgia. And it's not like the games were better. It's just we miss how, like, we were back then,
Outboards
but...
of 4chan, or over-realized, overinflated, overly specific simulators launched
going
on
on at the
Kickstarter,
bottom?
such as eyebrow piercing and butthole enema simulator. Number
Who
7.
put money into
all
that?
PlayStation games are C-tier AMC
Oh.
dramas. You got games like God of War or Horizon Forbidden West sprinkled next to these AA roguelikes such as Returnal. That's Sony's entire modern library. Here's my point. A game doesn't
bought a
have to be a
PS5
cinematic
for this.
masterpiece. There's other ways to keep a player engaged, but it can't be fun, according to this guy, and this guy. Sony games are cynically overproduced TV shows. And to illustrate that, I'll introduce you to Jeremy. Jeremy has seen some
Ooh.
Marvel movies when he was a kid, won't shut up about Breaking Bad, and unironically watched some shows on the CW. Jeremy is going to play God of War Ragnarok and Horizon Forbidden West 5 times each
True.
because everyone on Reddit is discussing the lore of all the moments he was too bored to focus on. Jeremy also feels the obligation to join constructive Reddit threads about the
Oh.
merits of the
Oh, no,
$100
Jeremy.
million video game. Jeremy also pretends to have always loved Spider-Man before buying the PS4 game. Jeremy has nothing to do with himself because he's alone and undriven. Jeremy has depression. Jeremy is going to rewatch Breaking Bad a few more times and play God of War again. Jeremy has to move some installs off his secondary drive to the internal drive, and that's probably going to take an hour. Jeremy figures he'll try a new video game like Pizza Tower, but it's unfamiliar to him. Jeremy can't sleep at night. Jeremy is going to play Horizon Forbidden
the
West.
fuck is happening?
Jeremy overeats. Jeremy got rejected by the girl at work. Jeremy is going to join a forum for Sony game fan fiction. Jeremy is insecure and feels like he's learned nothing in life. Jeremy is going to binge watch Better Call Saul. Jeremy is going to play The Last of Us Part 2. Jeremy is surprisingly still alive. Number 8. New original
That was it.
IPs are
Okay.
literally just Biomutant 5.5 out of 10. Start a game company and make a new IP. Know what you're gonna make? Biomutant. It's a halfway semi-decent creative idea that's too ambitious to fully flesh out in a satisfiable manner for any player, and everyone walks away full of empty calories and says, You can have pretty graphics, you can have smooth gameplay, but the second you prioritize those two things over an immersive and creative gameplay loop, your EA games challenge everything.
Actually,
this
true.
concept isn't new either. Crucify my dick, but Fable is
Nah,
a perfect
they
example
wouldn't.
of this. The original Fable
it's just all
trilogy
about
is
money.
exactly
Like you said, the board of
indicative
directors
of
and
this
shit.
phenomenon I'm talking about. Engaging visuals, smooth enough gameplay, and a continuing complicated case of bulimia. Those games had zero narrative worth paying attention to, zero gameplay addicting enough to engage with the world propped up with paint and plywood, and worst of all, Peter Molyneux marketed it.
Connecting people together and allowing them to tap on this massive key.
Oh,
And I said,
wait.
and
I think I
learned
know this
these
guy.
things, I said there's something amazing in the side.
Number 9.
I think. Did he make like some cube thing? Some I don't
Everyone
even know.
knows Ubisoft games are checklists. They're the embodiment of fetch quests and guilt through progress bar.
Ubisoft's games are so ass.
They sucked all the fun out, level gated everything, calling it a fucking RPG, and turned gaming from something exciting, challenging, and inspirational into something so rounded, basic, and comfortable that it wouldn't be surprising if the next Assassin's Creed game came with a $5 McDonald's coupon. Ubisoft Plus is an extremely appropriate move for the company, acting as yet another layer of obligation
For real?
these
That's
depressed
crazy.
and unfulfilled cubicle water bags with wives who hate them to distract themselves from the fact that the child they had didn't fix their broken spirit. Bust out the wiki.
That's why indie
walk-
game studios are like carrying the industry right now. Cause like for the people that actually like miss like good gaming or whatever, you can play some indie games. People that are like brain dead, like little cogs, they'll play like Call of Duty like 89 for the 100th time. And that's just how it rolls. That's just how it works. But then the indie devs like usually don't get enough pay, like bad working conditions, because like, you know, it's
John,
bad. It's bad.
time to 100% the game before your wife burns your dinner. Here's a list of things you can buy with that money instead. An artisanal sandwich. 15 things at the dollar store. A second phone line to hide the fact that you're cheating on your wife for burning your fucking dinner. Get access to all the upcoming Ubisoft games on day one, including their back catalog. $14.99 a month. Okay, let's think about what kind of value that money adds to your life. Every service has to have a value add, right? Okay, what's the last great video game you played? Truly great. I'm willing to bet that whatever game it was cracked 90 on Metacritic. How many games
A game
do
does not
you
need to
think
crack
Ubisoft
90 to be
released
good?
that cracked 90 on Metacritic in the last 10 years? Go
Like
ahead. I'll give you some
2.
time to guess.
Probably
I'll give
just
you a
Far
hint.
Cry.
It's one syllable. All right. The answer is actually 9 games.
9?
So if we divide that by
They got
1 every
9
year,
over
we get almost
90?
a great game every year.
No way.
Oh, just kidding. The answer is actually 3. So you're paying $15 a month and you don't even get a coin flip's chance to play a great game that year?
What games would they have made that are over 90?
Just kidding. I lied. The answer is 1.
Oh,
Fucking game. And it was almost exactly 10 years ago. Rayman Legends.
Oh,
Great game.
it's so
Love
over.
this game. More people should have played it. Maybe I should subscribe to Ubisoft. Yelling aside, that's basically 0
Holy
great
shit.
games a decade. In case you're a high school dropout, subscribe to Ubisoft Plus playing Number 10, Far Cry A Billion. Far Cry 6 is the equivalent of those web apps that show your percentage progression through their curated onboarding tutorials, you know? And once you're done, fuck it, I don't know. Here's some shit that's been around since Just Cause 2. Everyone on Reddit and Google Plus and Vote knows
Google
that Ubisoft
Plus.
released Far Cry 3 and said, oh, fuck yeah! And then kept releasing the exact same game for over 10 years. Here's what you get in Far Cry 3. Constant, shitty random encounters, brain-dead
doesn't like
AI, an incomprehensible dog shit mess of a story, the bottom-tier worst crafting mechanics
But it had
known to game
boss,
designers,
so
horrible
good.
driving, horrible quests, a cop-out sandbox that everyone pretends is super engaging to mess around with because 3
This guy
guys
hates
recorded a
everything.
few quote-unquote funny GIFs on Reddit, and a sincere lack of anyone that gave a single shit about getting it to market. Far Cry is a money.
Actually, true though. A lot of reviewers, because they have to rush out their reviews. I remember watching some video like a while ago. It might be my watch later or something, but like these reviewers, they have to like speed run their games because they only get like a week to make the review. So especially with story games, they'll just like play the cut or they'll watch the cutscenes, spam through the gameplay on easy mode, and then give it a 10, like Last of Us or some shit.
A money
And
printer
that's
that
just how it
requires a
works.
lighting update once every 4 to 5 years.
And also, PlayStation will only give review copies to people that like their games. Because I'm pretty sure Angry Joe Gaming or whatever did not get an early copy to Last of Us Part 2 because he would have shit on it. And he did. But IGN got a copy, and everyone that likes their
Dragon might
games
have been fun, but I stopped
did.
caring while I was writing this sentence. Number 11, Valve, where the fuck are you?
Actually true.
Or, you know, where are you? Valve is legendary. They've released some of the most influential and critically acclaimed games ever made and basically lowered the barrier of entry for PC gaming as a whole. Steam changed PC gaming. It unified all their products, mods, and their community. They pumped that storefront out, released a bunch of hats, created entire economies, and became the first program any PC gamer installs when their shiny new parts, pre-built tower, and gaming laptop arrived in the mail. A
Actually
comfy
true.
portal rivaling that of the Blade era of the Xbox 360 dashboard. Oh yeah. Half-Life released in holiday 1998 after forming just 2 years prior by future Chungaloid Gabe Newell and Mike Harrington. It used a tantalizing cocktail of in-house code and the engines for both Quake 1 and Quake 2. It blew gamers' minds and gave them all orgasms. It's still a joy to play to this day because of how immersive it actually is, and holds up very well in general presentation. With passion, drive, and a lack of sleep, all before everyone cracked down on crunch culture, originating from people who actually gave a shit about the games they developed, like Bungie creating Halo, Valve created a masterpiece that holds up today. A few ports even released to the Dreamcast and PS2 as well. This is where Valve started, and games like this from new studios just don't happen anymore. What was the last good brand new IP from a freshly formed studio? Experiment 101 and Biomutant? Do we have to go over that point again? Biomutant 5.5 out of 10. After Half-Life, Valve just put out bangers, expansions,
I can't think off the top of my head, so I guess the answer is no,
commercial
right?
packages of legendary fan-made mods, a new physics engine that's totally not a big deal, didn't fucking change the rules of the industry or anything, a 10 out of 10 sequel that's sadly left without its own 10 out of 10 sequel, but the fanfic community gets a solid C+, a puzzle game with a cute cube that has probably one of the most sleeper songs during the credit scene that I'm pretty sure no one except me has heard of. Trust me, you wouldn't be into it. This was a triumph. The Hat Economy game, the world's best zombie horde game, second only to Back 4 Blood. Back 4 Blood really honestly is the best
He's trolling.
video game.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, it's got better graphics, it's got like,
Drunk as shit.
it has like modern technologies.
I'm gonna bomb this apartment.
I can't tell if you're being serious or not.
No, Back 4 Blood is better than Left 4 Dead.
You're bullshitting.
Shut the fuck
I
up.
can't.
No, the cards, they're like visually appealing.
The cards.
No, Back 4 Blood is better than Left 4 Dead.
Kill yourself.
League of Legends, but better than League of Legends, as informed by people I talked to who sometimes played League of Legends back in 2014. And a bunch of other cool, awesome shit that's industry leading, like Half-Life Alyx. Wait, are you serious? A bunch of this shit is VR tech demos. How the fuck was there a 6-year gap between this and Are you serious? Valve, where the fuck are you? Sure, you've got the Steam Deck and you fumbled drunkenly back when you released the Steam machines, but no other game developer has such a solid and consistent community excitedly modding your games, making memes, or whatever, except for maybe Bethesda, but they just ended up yelling at the Fallout engine until it agreed to try to be a live service. If Valve made an RPG, any at all, and put it on Source, it'd smack everyone in the balls. Get those fucking puzzle dudes to create new concepts for exciting, new, and engaging mechanics. Valve is the closest thing we have to some kind of open source game developer. If they put out anything at all, maybe the conversation would shift away from companies like Ubisoft or Activision or number 12, EA squandered EA Sports. EA sells sports games. If it's got a turf, or a court, or a field, EA's got a game for it. Most of these games are released yearly with game-breaking bugs, broken cloud integrations that completely wipe multiplayer season progress, and the battle pass to end all battle passes.
There's a battle pass? Oh, Ultimate Team, never mind.
What's a loot box? A loot box is a slot machine. That's it. You
I
pay
thought they
money,
got sued
you play
for
the
this shit
slots.
back in
Every
Battlefront
video
2.
game actually had them for about 3 years until some people bitched about
Yeah.
CSGO and Star Wars Battlefront 2.
There
It's a
you go.
racket to take advantage of the potential gambling addicts in the previously untapped market of literal fucking chill
Is that
packet.
minus 667,000?
Take advantage of the potential gambling addicts in the previously untapped market of literal fucking children. You put money in, you get athletes with different ratings. Make your own team with those athletes. I don't know. Call it an ultimate team. You pay lots of money, get
It's
dispensed
actually
mostly
just
shit until you finally
degenerate.
get a diamond, and still get stomped, stacking your team against people online because no amount of stats is gonna hide the fact that the only word in your vocabulary is bruh. Before all of this Ultimate Team loot box chicanery, there existed experimentation, excitement, and fun under an actual EA label. And that label was EA Sports. big. NFL Street, SSX, NBA Street, FIFA Street. These games really made you feel like you were Batman. These games totally captured the spirit of extreme sports at the time. The X Games were everywhere, and Doritos were going apeshit with all their flavors, so EA put out a snowboarding game where you can flip your character in every direction, jump off painted metal ramps, and unrealistically grind on a chain link fence. SSX was very well reviewed, so they
93.
capitalized on that with a little remix, but let's just go ahead and call it a sequel. SSX Tricky. This game was bonkers. There was no limit to what could be described as a trick. Hands, feet, and law-defying physics were everywhere, all while the game blasts run
That's fun.
DMCs. It's tricky. The insanity doesn't end. There's a DJ that's scratching records and announcing your tricks. You're doing the worm or turning into a helicopter. And this game was fucking hard. AI is aggressive and fast. Learn those shortcuts, cause you're gonna need them. Also, be prepared to restart the motherfucking trick events until you actually land that triple rodeo Uber trick while nabbing the goddamn ×5 multiplier. SSX3 is objectively better though. Seamless snowboarding mountaineering from Peak 3 to Peak 1 with DJ Atomica was dope as fuck. NFL Street was the other game I played a lot as a kid. I loved football and NFL Street loved me.
now
It was
we're
a
getting
fast-paced
into
and wonderfully
emotional.
exaggeratingly animated version of the sport, and it was easy
never
to
mind.
pick up
The
and
music
play.
went, like,
The game was
somber for a
unfairly
second.
challenging towards the end of the career mode since it relies so heavily on in-game stats, but that just made it more fun to fully max out a character in the way you intended. The outfits are a complete joke, but exaggeration was key here. Your characters jump a million goddamn feet in the air to catch a ball. Every movement is definitely big. Play this game with your friends and every play is going to be a screaming match. Games need to be as intense as this these days.
True.
They just aren't. And as far as I'm concerned, NBA Street holds the crown of being the only sports game in the world to make chain counters fun. It's basketball, but with all these little moves that consume turbo and add to a meter called the Game Breaker. Score a bunch of moves back to back before making a sick dunk? Your opponent is going to shit a brick, cause they are fucked. The Game Breaker makes you OP as hell for one play.
See, all I gotta do in these new games, bro, is just add this shit to the newest 2K, bro. Just give it a chance. See what innovation can do to a game, bro.
Away from your opponent while you score some. Buffoonery that does not exist.
Game
in
Beast
modern
is really
games.
fun too.
Scoring
That
points
shit's
has
intense.
never been as fun as in these EA
Because he said
Sports
no other game was intense. That shit's intense.
big games. The overall presentation and feel of these games is still downright exhilarating. While they are not in contention for being the best competitive games in the world, you could argue that their nature of being easy to pick up and relatively easy to master was what sold the entire
That's what I'm saying.
experience. Speaking of which,
We don't need
number
realism.
13. Not enough easy to pick up, easy to master games. Thanks to the fact that every game these days is connected to the fucking internet, tryhards are always finding new and innovative ways to measure their dicks. Every game is competitive, which means if you want to master a game, good luck mastering that game against the millions of players trying to master the game. The skill distribution is literally a bell curve. So if you want to be really good, chances are you never will be. But if you go back in time to play something like SSX3, you never had that constant element of the skill ceiling changing on you. The AI or game was hard-coded, and you could breach their ability definitively. I would 100% put money on the fact that gamers today are way more insecure
Damn.
about their gamer abilities than they
Need
were
some
20
fun
years
fucking
ago.
games,
Go
bro.
on, I say, go
And that's
on.
why, I don't know, gaming was different back then, but when Fortnite came out, that shit was peak. That was really fun, because it wasn't like serious, it wasn't like realistic. Different from PUBG, I guess, at the
Another
time.
days
I'm
of
just trying to think,
impress
more
other
casual.
awkward people by proclaiming you're a epic gamer.
And it was easier to master until they started adding more shit with turbo building and more guns.
Now everyone just plays Fortnite
Too much,
on their
too much
phones
lore,
while
too much
watching
lore.
GTA 5 roleplay streams in the background. Get up, Joshua. Dinner was ready 40 minutes ago. Also, your dad found out about your progress report, so start crying. Hydro Thunder Hurricane, Crash Team Racing, all those Nintendo platformers, Spyro the Dragon, Halo campaigns, rhythm
Yeah,
games
exactly.
like Guitar Hero and Rock Band. Spend enough time in these games and you almost certainly would become very good. You might not top the leaderboards on speedrun.com, but you almost always reached a sense of nirvana playing a game efficiently with great mechanics in a trance-like state. Those tricks and SSX that you land that just net you the 3 question marks? Man, that's a good feeling. Do you get the same feeling playing Modern Warfare 2 Search and Destroy? No! Who cares if you're slightly better than a 7th grader? Indie games may scratch this itch, but I got a bone to pick with them. At number 14,
Oh, shit.
every indie game is a color-blocked, low-poly roguelike. Too many indie games
Actually,
are
kinda
roguelites
true.
and have a pastel color block aesthetic and are low poly solely for the sake of nostalgia. That's it. That's the point. Number 15.
Fair enough.
All games are still made for PS2. I don't have a lot to say about this category, but console generations are too long. The one that felt the longest was the gap between the Xbox 360 and the PS3 jumping to the Xbox One and PS4. Truth be told, gaming still felt pretty shitty to play on console during that period. That was the best era to be a PC gamer, so you could brag to your friends that you have things like a high refresh rate monitor and a liquid
500
CPU
hertz.
cooler that you won't maintain at all. Gaming on consoles got a huge quality of life improvement with this latest generation of series consoles and the PS5, but most games are still developed with the previous generation in mind. Game
Yeah.
makers are constantly sacrificing.
Because I wonder,
cutting-
like, because God of War Ragnarok was like really good, but I wonder how much better it would have been if it was only PS5. Like, PS4s make them a lot of money, but we need a bye-bye and to start focusing on next gen. It's been like, bro, it's been like 3 years we've had next gen, and we barely scratched the surface. We barely
edge
scratched the first
technology for
surface.
people stuck in the
Because when
past.
you think about it, Watch Dogs 1 came out at the beginning of the PS4 life cycle. Red Dead Redemption 2 came out at the end, and the difference in quality of those games and how the developers use the software of those systems is crazy. Even though it was the same system, PS4, Watch Dogs 1, Red Dead 2, but we barely scratched the surface. We gotta lock in.
And
We
granted,
gotta lock
it
in.
may be a difficult situation to get out of, but I don't care. Innovation is important. Damn it. Number 16. Digital sales are complete bullshit. Digital sales ruined physical sales. Most of the time when you buy a console game, there's nothing on that disc other than a license and the uncaring Blu-ray letters staring back at your worthless fat face. Buy a game digitally. Great. You'll get to play it forever, right? Oh, wait.
Listen to the music while you can.
To keep this point short, you should be able to buy a license for something and use it indefinitely. Relying on cloud servers to stay online forever for me to download the game at my will 20 years from now is obviously retarded because one day the servers will be gone, so that's why I opt to buy the physical games. So imagine my frustration when these motherfuckers just put key codes in the
shit.
box and call it a day. Nailed it. My Xbox discs will be worthless one day since all they're good for is a digital license or maybe a broken pre-alpha version of Cyberpunk 2077 burned to them or some shit like that. Number 17. Everything is a Discord bot. Fuck Discord. The UI sucks. The notifications
What
are
did Discord
fucking
do to you?
annoying. Every server has like a billion asinine rules. Everyone on there is terminally online and doesn't know what the concept of having a life or grass is. And every server has that one channel where all it does is spew out bot-generated garbage that exactly 0% of people care about, but one moderator enabled the bot because they thought it would be cool. Get off Discord. Let's all go back to Skype. And number 18.
Fuck Skype.
Thanks to the fucking internet, gaming is now a job. You need to keep up on multiplayer meta, balance changes, game sales, milsim Discord clans, DLC, what games are functional,
But some
which
people
are
like that.
completely
Some
broken,
people
and
like
which
that.
platform that's applicable to, grinding battle passes, moving games around your drives because these companies turned you into your own personal fucking librarian for their uncompressed audio files, and fan-made wiki instructions on how to play these obtuse, janky games made in Unity with poorly made or zero tutorials. Gaming is not fun. It's an obligation. It's maintaining broken relationships with people on Discord who have BPD, so you have someone to play Chivalry with
BPD.
once every 2 months. It's
Chivalry.
grinding out a battle pass because
They're not playing
developers
Chivalry, they're
paywall
playing fucking
satisfying
Undertale.
multiplayer progression. It's
I'm joking.
staring at your own library for 30 minutes, unable to decide what to play next, installing, uninstalling, and moving games from drive to drive.
That is real.
It's a transparent memory of something
Especially
that
when
was
games are
exciting.
gonna start being like fucking 100 gigs each, bro. PS5 is only gonna be able to hold like 5 games max.
It's cynical. It's the opposite of fun. It's over.
It's over. He said it. Gaming will never be the same. He just predicted it. Fuck. That hit. That was hitting. Shit. Yeah, Starfield is like 115 gigs. I have it on my Series S. Bro, what a good video. And yeah, good video for a new channel, bro. Good video.